Imagine a world without instant communication, a world where the journey of a single idea could take years, crossing vast deserts, scaling towering mountains, and navigating bustling, ancient cities. This was the world of the Silk Road, not just a trade route, but humanity's first global network, a superhighway of goods, ideas, and cultures that fundamentally shaped the world we live in today. This wasn't just a road for silk, it was a conduit for civilization itself, connecting empires and peoples in a way that had never been seen before. Join us as we travel back in time to uncover the epic story of the Silk Road, a tale of adventure, ambition, and the interconnectedness of us all. Our story begins over 2,000 years ago, during the mighty Han Dynasty in China. The empire faced a persistent threat from the nomadic Xiongnu tribes to the north. Skilled horsemen who were difficult to defeat, the Han Emperor Wu knew he needed an advantage. He heard whispers of magnificent, powerful, heavenly horses in the distant lands of the west, in a region called Daiwan, modern-day Fergana Valley. To secure these legendary steeds and forge potential alliances, he dispatched a brave envoy named Zhang Qian on a perilous westward journey in 138 BCE. Zhang Qian's mission was fraught with danger. He was captured by the Xiongnu and held prisoner for over a decade, but he never gave up. He eventually escaped and continued his journey, reaching the kingdoms of Central Asia. Though he ultimately failed to secure a military alliance, his journey was far from a failure. When he finally returned to China 13 years later, he brought back something far more valuable than horses: knowledge. He brought back detailed accounts of the sophisticated civilizations, wealthy markets, and exotic goods that lay to the west. He described bustling cities, different customs, and a world hungry for what China had to offer. Most importantly, he brought back an understanding of a product that would define an era: Chinese silk. This luxurious, shimmering fabric, a closely guarded secret for centuries, was unlike anything the West had ever seen. The Romans would later call it woven wind. Zhang Qian's reports ignited the imagination of the Han court. They saw the immense potential for trade, and so, the first caravans were organized. Imagine them, long lines of camels laden with precious bolts of silk, slowly departing from the capital Chang'an and venturing into the vast, unknown expanse of the Tarim Basin, the daunting Pamir Mountains, and beyond. This was the birth of the Silk Road. The first threads of a global network were being woven, not by armies, but by merchants and their desire for connection and commerce. Following Zhang Qian's pioneering expeditions, the Silk Road entered its golden age. For over 1,000 years, under the stability of powerful empires like the Tang Dynasty in China and the Byzantine Empire in the West, this network of routes flourished like never before. It became the vibrant artery of the ancient world. Caravans, now a common sight, snaked across the continent, forming a lifeline that connected east and west. The journey was still incredibly arduous, taking months, even years. Merchants faced bandits, extreme weather, and treacherous terrain. But the potential rewards were so immense that they were willing to risk it all. The trade was a spectacular exchange of global treasures. From China, the primary export was, of course, silk. It was so valuable in the Roman Empire that it was worth its weight in gold. But China also sent out porcelain, tea, and paper inventions that would revolutionize the world. In return, caravans traveling eastward brought back a dazzling array of goods. From Central Asia came the powerful war horses the Han Dynasty had so desperately sought, along with jade, grapes, and alfalfa. India offered exotic spices like pepper and cinnamon, precious gems, and cotton textiles. From the Roman Empire in the Mediterranean came glassware, gold, silver, and fine wool. The exchange, however, went far beyond material goods. The Silk Road was a freeway for ideas, technologies, and beliefs. Papermaking, a Chinese invention, traveled west along the route, eventually reaching Europe and paving the way for the Renaissance. Gunpowder, another Chinese innovation, would change the face of warfare forever. In the other direction, technologies like grape cultivation and glass manufacturing made their way to China. Perhaps the most profound exchange was in the realm of culture and religion. Buddhism, born in India, traveled east along the Silk Road, carried by monks and merchants. It found fertile ground in China, transforming its spiritual and artistic landscape. You can still see the evidence today in the magnificent cave temples carved along the route, like the Magao caves at Dunhuang, filled with breathtaking Buddhist art that blends Indian, Central Asian, and Chinese styles. These oasis cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Kashgarbi became vibrant, multicultural melting pots. Here, you could hear dozens of different languages spoken in the marketplaces. You'd see merchants from Persia, India, and Sogdia haggling over goods. You'd find Buddhist monasteries, Nestorian Christian churches, and Zoroastrian fire temples standing side by side. This was the world's first true era of globalization, a time when diverse cultures didn't just meet, they mingled, learned from each other, and created something new and brilliant together. The Silk Road wasn't just a path for silk, it was a path for humanity's shared progress. Every golden age must eventually come to an end. By the 14th and 15th centuries, the once thriving Silk Road began its slow decline. Several factors contributed to its fading prominence. The political landscape of Eurasia had become fractured and unstable. The collapse of major empires that had once protected the trade routes, like the Mongol Empire, created a power vacuum. This led to a rise in banditry and made overland travel far more dangerous and less predictable. The long, peaceful period known as the Pax Mongolica, which had guaranteed safe passage for merchants like Marco Polo, was over. Simultaneously, a revolution was happening on the high seas. Advances in maritime technology, like the invention of the magnetic compass and the development of larger, more resilient ships, made sea travel a more efficient and cost-effective alternative. European explorers like Vasco da Gama successfully navigated a sea route around Africa to India, opening up direct maritime trade with the East. This new age of discovery bypassed the traditional overland routes entirely. Why risk a perilous year-long journey across deserts and mountains when you could ship goods directly by sea in a fraction of the time and cost? The flow of commerce shifted from the camel caravans of the land to the cargo holds of ocean-going vessels. The great oasis cities of the Silk Road, once the bustling centers of the world, slowly faded into quiet obscurity, their markets emptying and their vibrant multicultural life becoming a distant memory. But the story of the Silk Road doesn't end with its decline. Its legacy is woven into the very fabric of our modern world. It was the first system to demonstrate the power of global interconnectedness, proving that cooperation and exchange could be more powerful than conflict and isolation. The cultural fusion it fostered is still visible today. The foods we eat, the languages we speak, the art we admire, and the beliefs we hold have all been touched by this ancient network. The concept of globalization, the idea of a single, interconnected global economy and culture, has its roots in these dusty caravan trails. Today, we see a modern revival of this ancient concept with initiatives like the Belt and Road, aiming to create new corridors of trade and infrastructure that echo the spirit of the original Silk Road. It's a testament to the enduring power of its vision. The Silk Road is more than just a chapter in a history book. It's a timeless reminder that our greatest progress as a species comes not from building walls, but from building bridges. It teaches us that the exchange of goods is also an exchange of humanity. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration of history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring.